going on, crypto investors? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today is July 18th of 2017. So guys, I've been meaning to make this video for a while. However, I gotta say before I get into the topic, I was really affirmed to go out and do this video because of a recent comment I got. I always tell you guys to leave me feedback and comments because I want to hear what you guys want. I'm not here to just spew out, oh, I feel like talking about this today. You know, you guys already listened to me enough. I want to hear what you guys want, and I was really lucky enough to have a comment so early on in my channel from a guy named Raymond. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But basically, Raymond had asked me, what are some small caps I'm interested in? You know, he wanted me to do an overall analysis and pick out a few small caps that were getting some coverage, you know, starting to really kind of pick up attention in the marketplace, and some that actually have viable purpose behind them and a little bit of adoption as well. So it's a really important kind of skill set to know how to look for the right small cap coin, because I will be honest, there's some beef with the small cap industry that most crypto investors have, and a lot of it's kind of justified. Meaning that there's, for example, the first thing I can think of right off the bat is the small cap market makes up the mass majority of cryptocurrencies that are being created, and there's a reason for that because there's a lot of crap coins. There's just too many coins out there that really don't have a solid purpose, that don't have any proof of concept, that don't really have any adoption, that don't have any viability of becoming a world reserve currency. So, you know, in doing that too, there's also the stereotype of pump and dump coins, and this is what leads to the viability of whales coming in and pumping random currencies like this that have very small market caps, where they can buy up a lot of the currency, get other people to spend their money on it, pushing up the price even higher, and then selling and making tons of money with people who were simply just too dumb and stepped in on the wrong decision, or too eager to take on the chase of the highs, which you do not want to do, and that's not what we're talking about here, guys. We're here to talk about finding some small caps that have yet to moon, ones that we don't want to just simply make a small little profit on. I mean, we could make a 50 or 60 or 70% return on some kind of whale coming in and investing a lot of money into it, but our main objective here is to get the next mid-cap coin, something that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, like I said, guys, I'm not going to be setting any price points. I'm no financial advisor. I'm just here to simply give you guys some direction towards some coins that you should probably consider looking at. I really do like the coins that I'm going to show you today. In fact, as I build up my portfolio, as Bitcoin's getting cheaper, these 4 out of the 5 coins I'm going to have in my portfolio. So it's putting my money where my mouth is in that sense. So let's go ahead and check out some of these altcoins that I've been watching. The first one that I really like is Virg. Now, Virg is a very kind of simple concept. It's not trying to sell you on some kind of fancy, oh, it's meant for this purpose, and it's not trying to, mass market or anything like that. It's just been slowly adopted. It's a small market cap right now, around 37 million. However, the volume is really nice on it comparative to its market cap. And for the max supply being at 16.5 billion to its current circulating supply of 13.4 billion, it's a coin that's coming close to its max supply, which I really like. But back to the technology of Virg, I want to go to its website. Actually, I already had a link here, so I'll just go to that. But basically, Virg, its whole concept goes back to something that was one of the original selling points of Bitcoin that really brought home the idea of the utilization of cryptocurrency, and that was privacy, security, and anonymity. And the reason why I think that Virg really stands out is that whereas a lot of cryptocurrencies are trying to sell themselves, oh, we got this technology just tied with our currency, it's gonna produce XYZ. Virg is just simply focusing on building one of the most encrypted and private currencies, and it is becoming one of the premier currencies that people are going to start using over the next few months and year on browsers like Tor, which is a VPN-based browser. And it's just really interesting to see how Virg is coming along. Now, if you guys want, you can go check out the black paper and stuff on the technology. It's pretty interesting. But it's very simple too. They've already got a lot of wallets. One built for Electrum. They've got things built for Windows, Mac, Linux, you name it. So they've got a variety of different types of browser and operating system wallets that you can download. So it's cool to see that they've got a really good team of people coming together and already producing the wallet technology for it. Along with that, they've got a long list on their roadmap. Now, guys, if a cryptocurrency has a roadmap and you're thinking about investing it, you better look at that roadmap first before you invest into it. They've been working towards building servers and clients for a variety of VPN-based browsers, which is good. They've already got those released, so there's viable use in them. You can actually go out and use them already. And then I like how they're building mobile wallets as well. So I think they've got a long list of things they're working toward. They've also got a merchandise store, which is kind of a given. They've got a lot of stuff coming out in July and then also August as well. This is what I read that I really liked, was the Discord service. So if they can do a Virg transfer over Discord, that would be fantastic, because I know that Discord is becoming an open platform, not just for video games, but also for just general communication. I know actually, for example, in cryptocurrencies that there's a lot of people who go and create channels to talk about cryptocurrencies on Discord. I don't know anyone personally, but I've heard that there have been a numerous amount of people who are utilizing Discord. And why not? It's an easy service. You can literally create a server running in literally a minute, and you can invite your friends to it. A nice free service that's open, and I like how Virg is trying to really pick up on that. The other thing that has sold me is that if we go down here to the bottom, you can see that there is a excessively long list of developers. And whereas a lot of people say, oh, there's too many people working on this, they don't have any standards for who's working on the project. I think that the more the merrier is kind of the motto when it comes to cryptocurrencies. When you have a small team of 2 to 3 people who developed a cryptocurrency, and then they just literally go out there and promote it, they usually go, here's our cryptocurrency, let's hope it moons, we want to make a lot of money. When you see teams like this, when there is a collective group of people who are passionate about building a solid currency based around a really crucial topic like privacy, it's really something that's not only kind of I tell you guys not to think with emotions, but it is something that emotionally is kind of warming to see, because you can tell these people are passionate about it. They're behind the technology. Not to mention, the more the merrier in the sense of minds coming together and working on a project. 2 brains are better than 1. And it's really cool to see that they have a nice expansive team. As you can see, if we go through it and stuff, it's not exactly high-end people. You've got some people who are random people on the web, but that's the whole selling point of it, isn't it? It's the sense of people coming together from a variety of walks of life and really fighting for this whole market of privacy. And that's something I think everyone on the internet really kind of intrinsically identifies with. So this could be a really big world currency, guys. I think that with continued adoption, and especially if they get the Discord transfer system working, that would be fantastic. I haven't heard one cryptocurrency that's doing that. Now, I might have missed out on it, but I'm just saying I think that was a huge selling point that I saw. But nonetheless, guys, they've got a good roadmap, a good dev team, and an awesome, steady concept that really is practical in the world. So keep your eye on Virg. It's at a good discount right now. I would definitely recommend doing some research into it. All right, so the next one I want to talk about, I'm going to try and be as quick as I can with Numeraire. Numeraire is a really cool currency, in my opinion. It's one of those ones that are tied to, it's specifically used for this, rather than just like, okay, you use it as a means of exchange between 2 people. So basically, Numeraire comes as a cryptocurrency from its parent companies. I'm pretty sure it's called Numeraire, that's how it's pronounced. But basically, I'm going to have to do a little bit of a explanation for you guys. And I'll try to make it as easy to explain, because a lot of people, both the founders of the technology and then also people in general, have a very hard time of explaining it. So out there in the world, outside of the bubble of cryptocurrencies and that kind of like small part of the world, there's multi-trillion-dollar equity markets, meaning stocks and all various types of assets. But we're going to just go simple and call it the stock market in a sense. So in the stock market nowadays, you probably imagine, when you imagine stock traders or investors, you imagine those big guys on Wall Street yelling out, oh, buy, sell, Apple at 250, this and that. And surprisingly, that's not how the market works nowadays. It used to back in the 70s and 80s, and even in sometimes parts of the 90s. However, as we moved on to the era of past the 2000s and really towards past 2010, we really started seeing a push for data scientists to get inside of finance. Well, what data scientists do is they focus on a concept known as machine learning. And machine learning is pretty much what it sounds. It's machines learning through information. Unlike us as humans, we learn through experience. We learn mostly through other people telling us things or going out and doing things ourselves. We learn to ride a bike by, trial and error. And machine learning is a little bit like that, but it learns from data. And it learns from information. And it learns that through usually a simple objective. You have an objective at the start, and you go through, and it's usually through trial and error or through use of data. And data can help make decisions, especially through algorithms. So to give you an example of what this looks like in the finance system, let's say we take a big ticket company like Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs will go out of its way, and rather than going out and picking a random group of financial analysts nowadays, a lot of people are majoring in finance and they're not going to get jobs nowadays, because the simple concept of just saying, I think the stock is going to go to $40, that's not enough. Well, what's your measure of probability? And Goldman Sachs and companies like that are getting very nitpicky. And instead of spending, and hiring thousands of employees like that, they get teams of about 15 to 30 people who are going to go out and use algorithms through machine learning to take in data and measure probability of winning in an investment. For an example, Apple stock. Let's say it's at $100. What's the probability with the recent price data that it should go up? And it says there's a 65% probability. Okay, we'll go ahead and invest that. And it's not just like that where they put all their eggs in one basket and hope for the best. They do that with thousands of different equities, thousands of companies that you could think of, and many that you don't even know. And they'll just go out and do micro investments. Sometimes it's pinching pennies. It's betting off of what they know a day trader is going to do, when they're going to sell at a certain price. And this happens in crypto markets too. So that's why I tell you all not to day trade or swing trade without having excess information in the market, in the sense of knowing how to day trade and properly do everything, because you will get eaten up by the algos, which is a short for algorithms, or algorithmic traders. So anyways, you guys might be wondering, I kind of went on a rant here, what does this have to do with Numeraire? Numeraire, the company who's the parent of Numeraire, is a private company that goes out of its way to use data science and machine learning and the sense of measuring probability for normal equity markets, being like talking like stocks and stuff like we were talking before. Now you might be saying, well, Nick, this is a cryptocurrency. Like, what's their purpose with that? So basically, they thought of building a centralized company that uses a network of thousands of data scientists to go out of their way to measure probability through their own algorithms and then bet on U.S. markets. Now, how does this kind of work? I mean, it sounds like a big, ambitious thing, and it sounds kind of big. Basically, what Numeraire does is it has competitions. And in these competitions, they allow any data scientists to enter in. And right now they have over 12,000 data scientists, and that number is only growing from here on out so far. And they basically, in any given scenario, they'll have these little tournaments where 12,000 data scientists come together, and they're given random sheets of data. Now, if you really want to see what this looks like, you can go on an interview there. If you look up, there's an interview with the founders of Numeraire. And it's really cool. He shows a sheet. It literally just looks like a printed sheet of numbers. It wouldn't be understandable to the naked eye, and it's supposed to be. The reason being is data scientists will understand how to utilize it, but the information is anonymous in the sense of what it's referring to. It's just numbers. And so they won't know if they're measuring, the probability of Apple stock or Facebook or, Walmart, whatever it may be. And instead, they're going to plug it through their own algorithms, and they're going to go out and measure the probability, whatever it may be, or whatever that they can get out of the data, and they send it off to Numeraire, and they're entered into the competition. And then what happens is, at the end of it all, if the Numeraire plugs in the information and makes their actual decisions in U.S. equity markets based off of that information. And they supposedly take a wide range of information, but usually I would assume most of it's price data. And they, like I said, distribute it to all the data scientists. Once they've collected all the information, though, and all the insights, they go out and make the decisions. And every tournament, they'll release Numeraire. They'll just keep on releasing it, and it becomes harder and harder to acquire Numeraire. Look at that total supply, 2.2 million. It ain't going out fast, people. And there is a limited supply, which gives this, in my opinion, a reason why this could shoot up to much higher valuations as the process continues and as it becomes smarter and more algos get involved. Now, what's the real selling point here, though? Don't people in Goldman Sachs do this every day? Aren't the big dogs already way ahead? Think about it this way. Who would you rather trust your money with? 15, 30 people doing algorithmic-based trading? Sure, it might be successful. Or would you trust it with Numeraire, who has 12,000 data scientists and counting with all of their own algorithms? The measure of probability becomes so much more secure with 12,000 people doing it. You don't have a simple team of data scientists who are 15 to 30 people, sometimes even smaller, who are making mass decisions on their own algorithms. And this gives Numeraire, the parent company, a lot of power and leverage in the equities market. And that gives a lot of valuation to Numeraire. And at $30 million in market cap, guys, I think this is a real big steal here. But nonetheless, we'll have to see how it goes. I think it's kind of an early stage company. We can go look at its website. I'd recommend you guys watch through. However, they're just not, the reason why I kind of stayed on that and just kind of described it, they're not very good at explaining it. but nonetheless, they are getting the attention of a lot of people in the finance sector. It is going to be, in my opinion, a game changer in the equities market, or at least kind of shake up the concept of how algorithmic trading should work, and how a lot of companies like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan that think they've got it in the bag and they own it might want to rethink twice. So anyways, guys, that's it for Numeraire. Let's go on to the third coin that I'm looking at, which is Mysterium. Now, you guys have probably heard a little bit about Mysterium. If you haven't, it's actually kind of fixing one of the, we were talking about VPNs earlier. The VPN market is a multi-billion-dollar market. We'll go ahead to their website to go look at it. It's basically a decentralized VPN using blockchain technology. And if you guys don't know what a VPN right now is, it's a virtual private network. And basically, it sounds kind of fancy and like particular, it's basically a way to go browse the web anonymously. And it is a huge selling point in this age where people are curious about, is my data viable, being used in viable situations for companies that without me even knowing it. Is my privacy being breached in general? Is my government monitoring me? Are private companies monitoring me? Where can I just browse the web and chat and talk with people and feel like I have a sense of, privacy? And that is where Mysterium comes in. Whereas centralized VPNs are what seemed to be the solution at the start, there's a lot of issues with them, and they've got a great little simple layout that I always show people. You can also watch their video. They have a nice little illustrated video that talks about this if you want to get a more visual understanding. But centralized VPNs, if you guys understand how they work, they're focused on shareholder benefit. They are private companies, meaning that your private data is in that one company's hand and it is viable to access of third parties. When you sign that agreement that you didn't probably read, there is a lot of cases where they can sell your data and you don't know about it. And VPNs should not do that. That is the one thing that VPNs were built to not do, not sell your data, not breach your privacy. But they sometimes can, guys. And it's all to maintain high profit margins. This is very true. The VPN market makes pretty stellar margins in the tech sector right now because it's in such high demand. And people know, I think the companies know that people will go out and pay for the technology if they really need it. Now, what makes Mysterium different? What makes it, kind of interesting and shaking things up? The big thing for it is that it's being a decentralized VPN. There is not one company that owns the locations for the centers for the VPNs that scatter your IP address. It is all on blockchain technology, meaning that you and I could act as a VPN for one another. I could go, hey XYZ, I'll pay you 15 Mysterium to allow myself to use your location, your bandwidth, whatever it is, that I need for my VPN to go ahead and browse the web privately for so-and-so hours. And that's what the whole purpose of this is, and the whole selling point is that it's not some centralized company, and it comes at much cheaper rates than VPNs. It is a really interesting technology. It's kind of like Coin in the sense of cloud storage. If you guys have probably heard about Coin, but this is with VPN technology. And if you guys are wondering about the market potential, VPNs are going to be, they already are, and they're going to continue to be a multi-billion-dollar market. Now, a lot of you have probably heard with VPNs, it's a part of the deep web, and it's all this really criminal stuff. And yes, that is true. There is a lot of bad stuff on the deep web and stuff like that, and I try to stay away and thinking about it. It's a very kind of nasty part of the world. However, a lot of VPNs in the major market, why it's so such a big market like this, is because mostly of countries like China, where the internet is heavily regulated and privacy has been breached to no end, where you can't browse certain websites. I'm talking about even simple things like social media, and you can't communicate with people, play certain games, and it's really that kind of worry of government censorship. And as people go more towards the future, we kind of feel that here in the United States and other countries. So, I mean, whatever your opinions are on it, guys, I don't want to spark a debate about it. But that being said, nonetheless, VPNs are going to be a market, and I think that Mysterium is really going to kind of come in and shake it up. And I think they have a pretty good little dev team. They've got a timeline here, much like a roadmap, which is really good. So they've got goals for the future, what they want to do. They have different stages. I love the idea of complete decentralization. That's really nice. So they've been mentioned in a few media heads as well. And here's some of the team down here. I was reading through, I think some of them have some pretty high-level education or have worked at previously large institutions. But yeah, so yeah, like for example, 10 years of experience managing online consumer businesses and stuff. So you got some good people here. This is really good. and I'd recommend you guys check it out and look a little more into it. But we got to move on to the next coin. The next one I want to talk about is Cofounded, and I'm going to be kind of brief about Cofounded because I'll be honest, out of all the coins that I'm looking at on the small cap side, I don't know in excessive too much about it. I've got the general concept though around what Cofounded is, so we'll go ahead and look at its website. And basically, what Cofounded is it's a cryptocurrency along with its technology and its network, where it's basically going to bring a lot of startups, projects, you name it, along with VCs, venture capitalists, pretty much people who put large sums of money into things, and also angel investors into projects. And it's supposed to provide a large network where people could invest, co-found the cryptocurrency, into those projects to help found it, like help get it going and be a part of it. So we go back to the page I was on previously. There's a good intro video here that talks a little bit about it and probably would describe it much better than I could. However, I like it because they've got a solid, kind of zoom down there. They've got a really solid idea for the market, and they've also got a roadmap that kind of talks about what they plan to do in the future. So they've got goals to launch certain projects and get them funded and get the whole kind of core foundation of the network set up. It's a very conceptual coin right now, guys, but it's really cool. I like this whole idea. The startup industry, or just the VC industry of investing in these kind of startups, guys, is hundreds of billions annually. And it's definitely something that I think cryptocurrency could step into. So I would definitely say to look into it a little bit more before investing. I know I didn't really give that much of a description. I apologize for that. But Cofounded is kind of one of the newer ones that's still on its conceptual basis. And I don't think has been practically used, at least in a decent scale. So, yeah, definitely look into it. Read through this. They provide a lot of information, which, God, I know so many cryptocurrencies don't do. What's nice is you can go out and read it, and if you guys are interested in it, go check it out. I really recommend it. So, last one I want to talk about is something that I have seen supported by a lot of people, and the people who are behind the idea of library credits are fanatics about it. And I think they have a little bit of a reason to be so. Library credits is a concept that's been kind of building on me. And it's basically, I'll go to the website here. I love how simple they describe it. It's literally content freedom and building an open marketplace, a community-run marketplace where you can sell your data. So it's not like your search history per se. It's more of like if you have a certain type of video. I think I actually have some good ones here. Hollywood films, college lessons, all kinds of things you could think of distributing on a kind of basis like this where you would like some form of payment for it. That is what library is about. It's supposed to be an open source network where you can put your stuff on the marketplace. And it could be free if you want to. It's a free thing as well. You can put your information out there for free, or you can charge library credits. And it's a very it's not that complex of a concept to really get. It's just a cool, free, open access thing like this. And there's really not much out there that's like this, where you can have especially in the cryptocurrency sphere, where it has its own coin that's tied with the network, and it's completely open, free, and open source, and you can jump into it and really be a part of it. So it's pretty cool in my opinion. And as you guys can see, it's still in early access kind of. It's really just starting off. However, the developers behind it seem pretty cool, and the people behind the coin really seem passionate. And having that passionate base at the beginning of it is really important, because they're going to have a decent group of people who actually start utilizing libraries, website, and technology to really make the coin viable. So, yeah, I mean, it's very niche. The coin itself is tied to the website. That's the only thing. I guess you could utilize it other places, and they can build systems that make it functionable in other places. However, for now, it's pretty much tied to the website. So, anyways, guys, those are the 5 coins that I wanted to pitch to you all. Like I said, I'm no financial advisor, so go out there and do your own research. However, I just wanted to lead you all in the right direction and get you guys thinking about some coins. So, anyways, that's it for my small cap video. Thanks so much, Raymond, for the recommendation, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.